but I wanted to give it a couple casts to see exactly what it takes to make this thing backlash. Here it is. I'm going to do the first cast here. Cast number 1. No backlash whatsoever. Spartan Kid Outdoors family, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of Spartan Kid Outdoors. Today we are doing something a little bit different. We are taking out the kayak, and I want to show you guys a reel that I've been really taking a liking to, and I want to show you guys the perks to this reel. And the reel I'm talking about, the KastKing White Max. I've been really using this reel a ton. I've been loving the way it casts, how smooth it is, how smooth it reels in, how good the action is in the water as it brings back the baits. So enough talk. Let me get the kayak on the car. Let's get out on the water, and we're going to put it through a couple of tests to see what the hype is about behind this White Max. Alright guys, now that we're out here, I wanted to give this thing a couple casts. Obviously I've already pre-tuned it with the tensioning knob and everything, but I wanted to give it a couple casts to see exactly what it takes to make this thing backlash. I'm going to start it at the max break possible. I mean, this is what I would recommend you guys use if you're just starting out with bait casters and haven't used them a whole bunch. I would say start off with the max break possible, so that you don't backlash as much. But alright guys, I'm going to try a few casts here. I'm using 12-pound test max break on the White Max. Tensioning knob's already tuned in and done. Here it is. I'm going to do the first cast here and see how it does. Cast number 1. No backlash whatsoever. Max break of 9. Let's get this in here. Man, that was so smooth. I'm pretty sure if I casted this thing without even trying to control it with a thumb, that it would do just fine. Try it one time. That's what we'll do. We'll try it one with thumb control as we go down, and then with none. So here's one with no thumb control on it. Cast number 2. No thumb control. No backlash. No loose line slack. Max break. Let's get that in. Let's reduce the break a little bit. We're at max, which is I believe 10 or 9. Sorry. Let's go to 6. Let's go to 6. Let's cast that out, and then we'll go to 3. Cast that out, and then we'll go to no break whatsoever, and see what happens with that. So here's the first cast with thumb control on the 6. No backlash. 6. Let's reel that sucker in. Alright, let's reduce the break down to a 3 and see what that does. We're at a 3 here. Alright, still the White Max. Let's give that one a cast. There's that. 3. No backlash. Alright guys, let's do the last one here. Let's do no break whatsoever. So the control is all on the tension knob and my thumb. So let's do that. Ready? Here's a cast with 0 break. Look at that. 0 break. No freaking backlash. Let's reel this in, pack it up, and then we'll talk about the reel a little bit more. Alright guys, we're actually back home now. I was going to go over this reel out on the water after I got done fishing, but it was so freaking loud out there. I couldn't even hear myself think. So I'm back home now. I'm going to go over the ins and out of this White Max and show you guys, for you beginners, on how a good way to start with your tuning of this, so you make sure that you're able to cast it like I was today and not have any problems. So let's get into that. Alright guys, so one of the things that I wanted to go over with you guys on how you can really make sure you tune this right so that you don't have any backlash and you won't have any troubles. The first thing you got to mess with is the tension knob. Now when you're messing with your tension knob, you want to make sure that your brake is all the way down. No brake whatsoever. And you want to tighten your tension knob all the way up, right? What you want to do when you're setting your tension knob is you want to just let the bail roll freely, and you want to start loosening it until you start seeing your actual lure drop. Now the trick to it is when your lure hits the surface that you're above, so let's say you're doing it standing up, as soon as the lure hits the ground, you want to make sure that there's no extra slack in the line when the lure hits the ground and it sits. If there's slack and it keeps letting more line out, that means it's a little bit too loose, and you should tighten it up just a smidge. That's rule number one. The second one is make sure your drag's not all the way tight. I like to do it when my drag's set halfway. That's usually what I keep it at, and obviously I'll tighten it as needed while I'm actually out there fishing. But you don't want your drag super tight because that'll create extra friction against the spool and not let it fall out as easy. So you're gonna have trouble there. The next thing you want to do after that is, if you're a beginner, you want to set this sucker all the way to the max brake possible. You're still going to be able to cast it. You might not be able to cast it as far as you would if you're on, say, let's say a 5 or a 3, but it's enough to get you started. You want to set this sucker all the way up, minimize the backlash you can get, and you'll have less problems that way. As you start getting better at it, you could then start taking this down and getting those further casts. The other cool thing that this White Max has is it has an internal braking system. So not only do you adjust the outside braking system, but it has one right inside here. And when these things are pushed up against that, that means you're giving it extra brake. I always keep all 4 of those brakes on. It reduces the chance of a backlash. You give a little bit more brake, you give up some casting distance with it, but you're less likely to backlash. But as you start getting better, you can start pulling these things back and getting further distances on your cast. So for now, I would recommend you guys just activate all 4 brakes and start using it that way. To get that back on, you just slide it on there like so and then turn it up. Alright guys, so that should be more than enough to get you guys going on getting this bait caster and tuning it. I mean, you guys saw for yourselves. That's what I use. That's literally what I use to tune my bait casters. And if you tune a bait caster right, it's gonna treat you well. And I think that this White Max is a really, really good reel for those of you that are just starting and getting into the bait casting world, and even those of you that just want a nice reliable reel that you can use for your crankbaits and your chatterbaits and your spinner baits and just slow roll them. It's a 5:3 to 1 gear ratio on this thing, so it's got a nice gear ratio for really just cruising those baits through the water column slow. Crazy thing about this is it's in the $30 price range. If you go to Walmart right now and you look for a bait caster, you're gonna find probably the Black Max, and it's gonna be like 40 to 45 bucks. I don't know exactly the price, but I know it's in the 40s. And this thing is way better than that. So I would recommend this to anybody, to beginners, to more experienced people. It's a fantastic reel. KastKing really hit the nail on the head with this one. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it, but don't just take my word for it. Get one for yourself. You try it out. Try out the little techniques that I showed you on how to tune this thing and see if you get the same results I did. I didn't get backlash not once. I didn't get line slack not once, none of that. So I encourage you guys to get out there. I encourage you guys to try one of these things and see what all the hype is about. I'm a believer in the hype now, for sure. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to be it. That's a wrap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. If you guys enjoyed the video and you guys want me to do more of these review ones, I'm more than happy to. So I appreciate the heck out of you guys. Thank you guys so much for the love I've been getting lately. All the subs that have been just pouring in. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys on another episode of Spartan Kid Outdoors. We'll see you guys later.